What's up, nerds? Back at PAX West, day 2, and you know what? I was gonna lie and say that we were just entering the convention, but really, we didn't film an intro because we hit the fucking ground running this morning. We didn't have time for a goddamn intro. We were too busy getting the scoops. 1 scoop, 2 scoop, 3 scoop. And that's just the way it is, but I thank you so much and I can't wait for you to enjoy this content, so continue watching on Noisy Pixel. Oh, yeah, Battle Athlete. Give him the plug. Keep it locked. I can't die! I can't die! What's up, nerds? We're back, PAX West 2025, here with Akabaka looking at their upcoming newest entry in the Sucker for Love series, Crushed Landing, and oh my god, please let us know more.
Right, so Sucker for Love, this third entry is it's an amalgamation of a couple different Lovecraftian stories. This time it's The Color Out of Space, The City of the Singing Flame, and Eric Zan. And so basically this time it's about a meteor that has crash landed in the main character's apartment and is draining all the life and color out of living things around it. Oh, of course, it's a hot anime girl, so that you get to romance. This time around, we basically took all of the lessons and all of the feedback that we've got from the first 2 games and took the very best of what we have in the first 2 games. So we've got the funny protagonist that we kind of wrote for the first game, and we've applied it to this one. We've taken the art style and the polish from the second game, and then we've taken the feedback and kind of the wish list from the players for the third game, like wanting dialogue choices this time around, and put that all in this sort of nice, shiny final package for what we have planned for this third game that we're demoing here today.
Can you tell us about the Sucker for Love series? When did your team wake up and think, you know what, we need to date some Cthulhu monsters and this needs to happen now? What was that like? What was creating the series like?
Yeah, so this was actually in response to a game jam that we were brought on for. This was for the original DreadX collection, the second one rather, where they brought a curated list of developers to submit for a paid game jam, sort of, where they gave us about 10 to 14 days to make an entry following a certain theme, and the theme of the game that I was brought on for was love crafting. So a game that had love mechanics, crafting mechanics, and Lovecraftian horror. And I have like a visual novel RPG background, and so I could have burned the entire dev window just making a crafting engine. So it's like, that's not happening. I was like, well, what kind of has creating items and then using them? And I was like, well, dating sims kind of have that. And that also has the romance and love aspects. And so now that I have that set aside, the only missing part of the puzzle was Lovecraftian horror. So boom, it's a dating sim about Lovecraftian horror. And then a series of unfortunate events later, we had Sucker for Love. It was kind of a little nerve-wracking because this was like a horror game jam. And I was kind of rubbing elbows with Dave Szymanski, who made Dusk, and who submitted to this game jam Squirrel Stapler. You also had Daniel Mullins, who made Pony Island and Inscription from Devolver Digital that recently came out. You also had Panstash, who made World of Horror, which is my current favorite horror game. And so I was super nervous that all these devs were going to have like this X factor that you just know when you make horror games, because I didn't have any horror background. So I just kind of had to lean into making something kind of weird and something kind of anime and just playing to as much of what was genuine that I liked about anime and dating sims and visual novels, and hope that shines through as like a love letter to the medium. And then it did. And the reception was positive enough that my publisher at the time, DreadXP, approached me about turning the game jam into a full series. And so the rest is history. We went on to proceed to make the game jam version, Sucker for Love Prelude, into Sucker for Love First Date, which added in 2 new characters, the King in Yellow and Yanathotep. We then moved on to make Sucker for Love Date to Die For, and here we are with Sucker for Love Crush Landing.
Is there a ceiling to it, or can we go? Can we keep going with this series? That you can date the ceiling. I'm not saying that. No, not a ceiling that you could date, but is there a ceiling of themes here?
Yeah, well, there is a finite list of Lovecraftian entities that we can date because Lovecraft is dead. Yeah. So there is a list of the total number of gods that I can pull from, in which eventually we're going to run out of stories to pull from. I think it's going to culminate in one final send-off, which I'm going to not spoiler here, but it's going to be a final game where I'm going to try to do one kind of Smash Ultimate Everybody's Here final send-off to the IP, where I try to include as many of the gods and as many of the entities as I can cram into one game and give the player a chance to date all of them at once.
I want to talk about that, like the fans around these characters. How does that feel as a developer to actually create characters or reach a community that wants to see all of these characters in a game? Is that exciting for you?
It's exciting, but also shame on you.
Yeah.
I see what you guys post. I see all of it. If I had a nickel for every time somebody pitched a Sucker for Love anime fighter, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that I'd have 2 nickels.
It's going to be one of those fake April 1st things that just turn into a full game. It always is. Let's talk about this Crush Landing. Where did this kind of idea stem from, and when did this development start in addressing community feedback? And please tell us about that.
Yeah, so whenever it comes to making a Sucker for Love game, I always kind of start with just going through and cranking through however much of the lore as I can and see, okay, well, what here plays to what I know about anime? Because when I did the first DreadX collection, I actually didn't have any background knowledge of Lovecraftian horror, and so I spent the first 3 days of the 14-day dev window just crash coursing myself on Lovecraftian horror, like what is it, what isn't it, what makes it, and what makes it not it. And so what I did is I just read as many stories as I could for Lovecraft's anthologies. And what really jumped out to me is The Color Out of Space. You know, there's so many stories about alien anime girls coming to our planet and then not understanding our ways or learning our language, or all the awkward romantic situations that spring about. There's so many alien anime stories, and it's like this is such a good fit for a 90s anime. There's just a jillion. And so, like, as soon as I started brainstorming with it, there were just too many ideas to work with, so it just kind of became natural to just start expanding upon the ideas that I was committing to paper. And this is kind of how it always tends to work out. With Esther, it was like, well, it's normal to have sibling rivalries in anime, and with Lynetta and with Esther, when I went through the mythos, I saw that Cthulhu has a half-sibling. I was like, oh, that's a slow ball right over the plate for us to make an anime reference there. That's just generally how I go about it, as I look at the lore and I see, well, how does this run analogous to something that I've seen a million times in anime? And then I make them play nice.
When can players expect Crush Landing to launch? Or do we have a window? Do we have something?
We're aiming for sometime this upcoming spring.
2026?
2026.
All right, well, definitely we'll be covering all the Sucker for Love Crush Landing news and anything Akabaka puts out, because they're one of my favorite studios, and I just said that now. I haven't said that before. So whatever his reaction is right now, that's genuine. So be sure to check out coverage. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Battle Athlete here with Noisy Pixel, here today with...
I'm Tyler. I'm the narrative lead at Seismic Squirrel.
Yeah. So basically, what can you tell us about Aether Iron? Like, what's the story? What's the inspiration behind making this game?
Absolutely. So we're a narrative-driven RPG with turn-based tactical combat. It takes place in a alternate history, 1930s New York, with sci-fi elements. So you play the role as Gia, a smuggler in this world. And historically, smugglers live as the people in the in-between. Imagine New York City with all their neighborhoods floating. There's a lot of in-betweens in order for a smuggler to make a living. I think a lot of the inspiration came from just, I'm a big history nerd, and there's a lot of, what does the future look like that comes from the 1930s? And so a big influence was the 1939 World's Fair that happened in New York City. What could we make at the time? And we're like, that's an amazing setting for a game, for a story. And that's what we put together here. So, yeah.
Yeah, clearly the aesthetic is very noir, So do you have noir elements as well?
Oh, absolutely. I think we were playing around with what type of names to do, the genres to put it in. And we've talked about decopunk or cyber noir, which is a name like that. Doesn't work very well at all. But what we wanted to do was take the pulp novels from the 1930s, which are rich and just amazing to immerse yourself in. So like think Philip Marlowe, those old, really pulpy stuff. And we're like, let's use that to build a world. And what was important to us was building something that was immersive. So from the music that we have referenced from the time period, to the art aesthetic that we used pulp novels from the time, to the writing, which is all filled with very noir tonally. We have a narrator, the main character, who is giving her thoughts and her feelings and kind of understanding the world at the time. She views herself as somebody that is a bit of a romantic, at least in her head, whereas outwardly she's a bit more cynical. And so we get to see kind of the world unfold in this very noir setting. So that way when you play, you're just like, I'm being transported into this alternate world.
Yeah, to be honest, the aesthetic alone is intriguing. There's not too many games trying to go for that because I don't think it's an easy style to emulate. The style is obviously something unique. What's something, if you could talk about it mechanically about the game, that you think is unique that makes it stand out?
Oh, absolutely. And this plays a little bit into how we put together the game. We knew what we wanted to do was create a turn-based tactics game. That's where we started. We like the slow, methodical play. We like the strategy. What can we do that's different? And we went to, let's do cars. That doesn't work with a turn-based tactics game really easily because cars have momentum, movement, energy. That's what made us think, okay, what if we have this energetic background that's going on? So as you get into your car, you go into the combat, it is a constantly scrolling background to simulate that you were on the move. And from there, narratively, I was told, okay, we're taking these cool cars, or these cars, how do we make them cool? And I was like, 1930s, can't get cooler than that, right? And they're like, but people do that, right? People do 30s cars, they have gangster games. And I'm like, okay, what if we make them flying? That's how we kind of make it different. And then I had to go build a world to make that all make sense. But then when it comes to what makes that combat unique, we have this moving background. We have vehicles with energy and momentum. That means that the turn-based combat has to compensate for that, make sense, right? So you are constantly dealing with the roads changing, altering. You have to deal with, one of my favorite things to do is you have a battlefield full of civilians that you have to navigate and move. Because think about any turn-based game, you have obstacles that fill the space, right? And you can't do that with the moving background. So this is what the other vehicles on the road have to provide, that kind of almost dynamic moving. And then because it's moving, if you blow something up, it's going to hit everything behind it, right? So all that to say is that since we have this very dynamic, moving combat field, it's what I think really makes that shine, makes it unique and different. Yeah.
With where you're at right now, what are you aiming for as far as like a full release date, and what platforms do you think you'll be able to release on?
So we're looking beginning of next year, and PC is what we're on right now. Yeah.
I really appreciate the time. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Mark. Day 2 is getting longer and longer, but I hear that Red Bull is back with their special content creator club that I remember so fondly of. But let's see what it's like in Seattle. Come on. Now I hear if you close your eyes real hard and blink twice at the same time, you can hear the Red Bull bubbling in the distance. This is a little special area of the PAX where they funnel the nerds into a corner and they box you in for 6 hours to play Nintendo games that are coming out in a month. But I hope your day was worth it. I have a date with Red Bull. Mark, I think it's like around here somewhere. I think like probably just around this corner. If Poland is right there, then dude, I cannot find the fucking Red Bull. Wait. Where are we at? I know this booth. Where's our... Don't we know someone here? Don't we know Well, as I live and breathe, Jeremy's back.
Whoa.
It's been what? 2 months? Wind it back, Mark. Show the replay. Then I know. This is Jeremy, new person on the block. A love story.
God, it's still tale time?
It's been tell time for 2 months, please. I can't do tell time anymore.
Oh, yeah. It's tail time.
How have you been? How has Limited Run been? You guys had a few announcements. We have Tumba 2 here, playable. We can't play this anywhere else.
Not yet, anyway. We haven't even announced it physically.
How has the community been rallying around the pink-haired ape guy? What's going on?
I think regardless of what he's doing, they look at him and go, man, what a physique, what a head of hair, we're in.
Yeah.
And Tumba 2 has been one that we've talked about it, and everybody's been wondering, where's he been? Well, soon enough, we'll be showing off some footage, and then everybody will have their chance to be able to pre-order this physically.
So what else do we have here? Shantae's here. What's going on? Fighting Force? Like there's a pretty big lineup of different games. Is that lineup intentional for you as a publisher and looking at these titles?
Nothing really intentional. Honestly, when it came to deciding what we're going to showcase here at the booth, we took a look and just said, hey, why don't we throw some variety out there? We have a ton of options that anybody can go to our website and choose from at any given time. We have so many releases. Slow down, just kidding. But Shantae Advance at PAX East, we had kind of shown this off where, it's coming to the modern platforms.
Do you feel that as an experience with Limited Run that a lot of players will come up to you and be like, oh, I played this game from a demo disc, or I've played this level 100 times, but I never bought the game, or I rented it. Is that an experience that you get a lot?
It does, but I also think that is kind of transferred to the present day where we throw things on our wish list and never buy it, or we buy it and never get to play it. Demo discs, I remember them growing up where I would just pop them in and constantly play them like they were actual game, and then hope that my parents would buy me a copy of it, and then they never did. Because it reminds us of when we were younger and when things were awesome. And things are still awesome, but they used to be more awesome.
I'm going to give you this idea for free, a Limited Run demo disc.
Free?
The license holders. I'd buy 2. How is PAX West for Limited Run? What's it like showing games here? How's the experience been running these shows?
This is my first time in Seattle. Thank you for having me, Seattle. First time at PAX West. How is it? I mean, honestly, I'm pretty biased. I just love being able to get out and see people IRL. It is the most important thing to me. I like to make sure that everybody back home knows that there's so much value in talking to people, and then stuff like this. Even though you're conducting the interview, you're still a part of the community. You have your own community. I'm a part of your community, and it's just, I don't know. I can't describe how important it is with the amount of time that I have.
Yeah, and with that, it's why we do these kind of shows for the players who can't make it out to here, so at least you can at least experience or see what it's like over here. But I'll tell you, there is nothing like seeing these nerds and knowing and understanding why you're doing it.
And this is the best way to do it. And I appreciate you for capturing all of it and putting it into a position that anybody can just sit down on their couch or on their phone and get to experience PAX without being there.
And that's why Limited Run is going to publish Hunting Grounds next. I guess not. Thank you for your time. There's definitely a lot of normies here, not enough creators, so get me into the club. I'll be damned if I let my lips not taste the sweet nectar of the bull that is red. That pungent taurine. Can't get enough. Woo! Content creator club madness. We'll find the club. We'll find the club. Yeah. It's supposed to be around here somewhere. Yeah. Let's make a few calls. There's one last place we can check, but it's kind of a trek. And now, this was a rumor. We heard this place from a rumor. We don't know if it's true. There's whispers, ghostly whispers. Spirits. Whenever I go to a new place, I like to act like a local. But when I don't have my goddamn NAR, I start to get a little fucking crazy. Okay? I've been running on fumes, bitches. I've been running on fumes. Putting you all in danger because I am very low on Gnar. I can only do this. I can't even go full rock. I'm at mid rock. But once the horn of cans hits my hand, that's when I truly unlock.
Hey, what's up, gamers? It's Battle Athlete here with Noisy Pixel, and today I'm here with...
I'm Rob Cox. I'm the production lead at Aether Games.
And today we're here to talk about one of your newest games. What's it called?
It's called Love Eternal. It's made by a two-person team, Brilka. That's BRLKA. Two developers from the Pacific Northwest who are now in LA. We got Toby Alden, the programmer, who's made like a bunch of like experimental, often platforming games on itch.io, and we got Sam Alden on the art and animation. Sam is a storyboard artist by trade. He used to work on Adventure Time, and now he's using his powers for evil to make a psychological horror platformer, which is Love Eternal.
Now, this is clearly a platformer. What made you decide to go with platforming? I mean, that's a really interesting genre that a lot of people go for, and then going with the horror element. Like, what was your inspiration for wanting to do that?
Actually, the DNA of the platforming in Love Eternal has been around for quite a few years, because there was a game which Toby made called Love several years ago, which was like really drawing on other stuff like VVVVV and like the kind of like very tight precision platforming. Yeah, but it didn't have as much of a like narrative frame as Love Eternal has. So this is kind of like Toby and Sam coming together to think, how do we take that really tight platforming experience, but then wrap it up in a really compelling story which kind of fits the difficulty and the trial of platforming, but then gives the player like something to really mull over, like in between the platforming rooms. So what we have in Love Eternal is quite an experimental narrative, really, where you are playing as Maya, this girl who lives in this very normal suburban LA family home and finds that she goes to dinner one night with the family. The phone rings, there's no one there, and when she comes back, she's in this very otherworldly, very hostile-looking environment with all these motifs from ancient Mesopotamia, and we got spikes and chains and iron gates. And this god has captured you because she used to be worshipped by millions of people in ancient times, but has become very lonely and very jealous and possessive. So this god is trying to compel Maya's affection and make her love the god back for all time, hence Love Eternal.
Like, you can see that it's very story-driven, but it's not just a story. It's, like you said, something to think about. There's a psychological angle to this. But aside from that, clearly there is a difficulty in this game, which I think somewhat might compare to I Want to Be the Guy or Bashi or something like that, some sort of inspiration there.
There is like definitely a difficulty curve which ramps up as you get into the game. The idea is that the god who's taken you here is really trying to get under your skin and is like really making you question your confidence in yourself, but confidence in your relationships with your family and your friends. And are you really happy living your normal human life in LA? Or maybe it'd be better off if, you know, you could get away from it and be kept as like this cherished pet for all time. So the difficulty plays into that by, we want the player to feel like escaping this castle is hard work, and wouldn't it be better to just live there forevermore and kind of give yourself over to this god's possessive desires. For fans who are really into platformers, if you're like, you kind of look at it and think, oh cool, it's Celeste for goths, I'm into that.
That thought too.
Yeah, then you'll certainly enjoy like the very tactile, fluid movement and the kind of little dopamine hit of like splashing one of those save points. And then if you are really just there for the story, then hopefully the little breadcrumb trail of story moments, the like surreal aspects will be enough to like pull you forward to the next save point, to the next room.
I was going to say, you did mention how the difficulty of the game ties into the psychological story, and I can see that, where a game, like you said, ramps up in difficulty the same way that they're trying to make the character in the game doubt themselves and who they are. They make you doubt that you can't accomplish the game through its own difficulty. They kind of wear you down and ramp up things, and you think, man, I can't do this. This is too hard. And that way you kind of resonate with what the character in the game is going through as well. Am I on the mark?
Yeah, that's basically it. So it's this kind of ludonarrative synchronization where the frustration you feel as a player, that is also Maya's frustration at the cruelty of the situation she finds herself in.
Aside from also the difficulty, what's the potential for speedrunners in the future? Have you considered the speedrunning community?
We do really hope that the speedrunning community goes, appropriately crazy for Love Eternal. We think they'll really appreciate the incredible responsiveness and fluidity of the controls and the way that the game kind of like onboards you into the platforming quite gently, but then like really escalates and also kind of challenges you to learn the lessons of previous rooms into the next one. Interestingly, the game is about like 4 hours start to finish. I can imagine like that's, fertile ground for speedrunners who want to really optimize that time. Having done like a bunch of smaller games, which were in many ways kind of proof of concept of the individual components of Love Eternal, they felt like, now is the time to bring together what we've learned about creating fluid platforming controls, very like arresting, evocative art, which even though it's quite low resolution pixel art with like limited palettes, etc., when you kind of layer that in with the sound design and the soundtrack, you end up with a game which it sounds and feels much bigger than it looks.
Based on what I've seen and experienced, it definitely seems like you put a lot of love and care into this game. My last question is, how's your PAX been?
I gotta say, like, it is like very reinvigorating to get out of like your home office and kind of understand that, people are having reactions to what you're working on, what you're making, because on an intellectual level, you kind of know that, yeah, people will see the game and react to it and form an opinion about it and review it. But then it's not until you watch someone play and then they turn around and say, that was really cool, like, thank you so much. And then I'm like, no, thank you, because you never get to hear that normally. So my favorite part is seeing the players' reactions and getting that like kind of secondhand like contact high from their enjoyment of what we've been working on.
I think it's you being validated that your hard work is paying off and that people actually care about what you're doing and they resonate with the story you're trying to tell.
Yeah, we're excited to share it with everyone when it comes out later this year. It'll be on PC and every console, and it's a kind of game where the experimental narrative gets very experimental, and I wish I could tell you the things this game does, and then when it happens, you'll like text someone and say, hey, play this game, because it'll be like, $10 maybe, and then you'll say, like, when you get to the thing, text me about it. Don't watch any YouTube playthroughs, just go in blind, text me about it, because I don't want to get a therapy like session about this. It's too expensive. I need someone else to just like vent about this thing and share it with.
I really appreciate your time. Thanks so much for showing us your amazing game. And I can't wait for it to come out. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
What's up, nerds? We're back, PAX West 2025, here with Bossy Pino looking at his upcoming game, Muffles Life Sentence. And let me just tell you, this is a game that's been on our radar, so please tell our viewers all about it.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Bossy. I'm working on this game. I like to describe it like a weird RPG, like creepy Undertale, I tell people, or heavily inspired by other RPG Maker games like Off and one-shot games like that. The game essentially has this cool deck builder combat style where you're drafting identity, picking up these other characters. Instead of being part of your party, they like live in your mind in this kind of prison system. It's very weird and has this cool kind of one-bit art style, and I like it. From a kind of art standpoint, this is the first time I've ever really sat down and been like, I want to make some art, because I've never thought to be that good at it myself. And so I was like, I'll limit myself to 2 colors. And there's a lot you can do with 2 colors. And I'm inspired by games like Off, where have a very limited color palette, but swap out the palettes to kill like these cool kind of stylistic approaches. In terms of game dev, so in a previous life, I was a pharmacist, and working in medical care is rough. And I've always worked on creative projects, and I love them. And at some point, I couldn't escape it. And I've been working on projects that have been mostly failures for the last like 15 years. And it turns out that's a great way to learn how to make games, is just to fail a lot and then eventually get somewhere.
Muffles, the name, is the name of the character, but this life sentence, what does that mean? What can you tell us about what's going on with Muffles and what is this life sentence?
Great questions. So there's this prison, this huge prison system called Maddox. And in Maddox, characters get converted or changed surgically so they look like the crimes they committed. And you wake up as Muffles, who's called that because like their mouth is stitched shut. They can't talk, faceless, no memories. And it's like, what did you do? What crime did you commit to earn that kind of sentence? And why is it for life? And so it's this journey to go. There's kind of this bounty put out where like whoever can kill the warden gets a free ride out. And you're collecting these characters along the way who kind of teach you more about who you are. That character identification, identity, all that sort of like super stuff is explored in the game.
There's deck building elements here where the combat system picks up. What's your approach to deck building in this game and what are the systems like?
Yeah, I've always loved deck builders, games like Slay the Spire, Monster Train, so many good deck builders out there, Inscription. And I really wanted to have a system, like the phrase that comes to mind is like draft your identity. As you gain more characters that are part of like this party that's in your head, so to speak, these other characters, you gain cards that are their abilities. So like Constant, who's this anxious security guard, you get access to like these shock abilities that also kind of tie in with their character. And so as you're playing through the game, you're getting new cards, you're drafting these decks, and then you use them to kill other inmates and take their faces.
I really want to know, as a solo game dev, seeing your game here at PAX and being played in real life, how is that mentally? Are you freaking out? Do you want to look behind us right now while it's being played to check it out? How's that been for you? What's that experience like?
It's been weird. It's been good. I'm very lucky. So very early on, so the game is being released in this episodic style, like one episode at a time, mostly so I don't like say I'm gonna make a 3-year RPG and then lock myself away in a room and never hear. As they're released by episodes, I've been able to get feedback, meaning that our Discord is like so like vibrant and like I've been hearing stuff about the game for so long. It's still really weird in public to be like, I'm a real person and this is a real game and real people are playing it. But the feedback's been really great and people are all very kind, and I've been giving out stickers and people like stickers, so it's been good.
What's something about this game that you just want general gamers to know about it? They just turned it on, they just booted it up. What's something you want them to look at and notice?
That's a great question. People like D. D is a weird, it's your cell buddy character who's like this kind of unhinged, like clingy, I don't even know how to describe D. D is this one on here, the like unhinged looking one. And if people like D gets taken away early in the game to get like chopped up and tortured.
There's one.
But D can't die, so it's this weird. There's a lot of D across the episodes, even though they're like decapitated. Spoilers, like you'll see them again. So if you're in the game for D, then there will be more D. I guess that's what I want to tell people.
When can we play? When's the release? What are we looking at?
So the first 3 episodes are on Steam right now. The first one's free. You can play totally free. At some point, we're doing a big kind of relaunch with all the episodes bundled together. You can play it all different color palettes, a whole bunch of stuff. And that has yet to be announced, but you can play the first 3 episodes on Steam right now.
Do you know how long the episodes are going to be? How long you're going for?
Yeah, so each episode tends to be about 3 hours of gameplay if you're first time through. There's a lot of like optional characters and like other collectibles and things like that. So if you're looking to play a bit longer. So to answer your question, the full game when it's all said and done, probably 15 to 20 hours of gameplay, which for a solo indie dev, I have had no life for the last few years.
Well, no better time than now to jump in, and we'll definitely be covering Muffles' life sentence as it's being developed, and because it looks great, and I really want to play it right now. So you should too, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. Thanks. All right, so there's this rumor that if we walk up this staircase where this crowd of people are going, the Red Bull Content Creator Club will be at the top, but you have to somersault, do a 360, and put up the horns to get in. Watch this move. No cutsies. I just hate that I said that shit because now I'm gonna have to somersault 360 and put up the horns at the end of this journey, or else no one's gonna believe me. I just might be stupid enough to do it. If we were fucking lied to again though, like, I'm gonna freak out. I'm gonna have a crash out. I'm gonna crash because the
Hey everyone, Mark here from Noisy Pixel, and I know I already said a thank you on day 1, but if you're here once again or you're new, day 2, thank you so much for sticking around and watching these special PAX videos. We pack so much fun and energy and effort into these videos, and we're just so thankful that you took time to make it 40 minutes through this day 2 PAX West 2025 showcase. Once again, please subscribe, like, and hit the bell. Go to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts. We do it all. This is all for you, nerds. Enjoy the rest of PAX West 2025 Day 2. I'll see you on Day 3.
What's up, nerds? We're back. PAX West 2025 here with Asobism. I read the shirt. Branding, easy. Looking at their upcoming lineup, but one game in particular, Shape Hero Factory, is here on the show floor. Tell us a little bit about this game. How do you balance that difficult nature by keeping a cute game still approachable, but also complex for the nerds that really like tower defense and roguelike games?
We hit all the numbers deep inside the game. So for the light players, you can just progress the game without watching the numbers, like the speed of the belt conveyors. They don't care about it. Well, they don't want to see it. But for the core gamers, if you mouse over it, you can see the numbers of the speed of the belt conveyors and every equipment, speed of the equipment. So the core gamers can watch on the numbers, and light players don't need to watch it.
What about like the art direction here, like the cute, like bold, like cartoon characters? What can you tell us about this direction? Does it feed into the entire theme of the game?
Yes, it definitely does. The factory game is far away from cute design, so we built in the like a cute anime-like kawaii kind of cartoon into all of the essence to the factory building game.
Is there a narrative here for the characters? Is there a story that progresses?
Actually, there is. These guys are like a fairy trapped into the book. There's a mean, maleficent portal. I don't know how to say it in English, but they're going to stop the demon from summoning. So
when can players kind of get their hands on this game? What are you targeting? Early access, demo? What can players expect?
This one is already on early access, and it went early access on last November. When launched on early access, it hit the #1 of Steam.
Wow.
Yeah, so it went very well, and we're finally releasing this title full release on next September 17th. Yes.
And on that, what's that experience like, early access? How is it like developing and getting community feedback throughout the game's development?
We opened a Discord server, English and Japanese, 2 languages, and we gathered 3,000 fans of this game. We're listening to all the opinions from the users, and we rebuilt the whole game, listening to the users every month, and that's how we progress to the full release.
Do you think you've hit, for the full release, you think you've hit that sweet spot to release? Like everything is good on the game? Everything's...
Yes. I think we heard every essence from our users, and I think every users are going to be very happy about this game.
Well, we'll definitely be covering it up to its September 17th release. I want to talk about Vivid World that you also have over here. Tell us a little bit about this game and kind of its development and what's going on right now.
This is actually a sequel, and the first one was called Vivid Night, and it sold about 140k souls in Steam and Switch. This was our origin of Steam game, PC game, where our company was originally a 20-year company, and we have a 10-year anniversary to domestic smartphone apps. This one had a very success on Steam, so we started to make these 3 games. And this one is going to be a sequel for that. And it was like kind of Asian fan-based game on the first one. So we wanted to be more westernized. We wanted to make Western people happy. So this one is kind of redefining of the Vivid Night, making the graphic more familiar to Western people.
What's the genre like? What can players expect jumping in?
First idea was the genre was auto chess. There was an auto chess, and the director really liked auto chess, and so he mixed it with auto battler and a deck builder. And so this is kind of genre mix also.
Is there a release for this game? When can players expect more?
Yes, it's going to be released this year, and it will be probably on November.
One last title here, Live Hard, Die Harder. What kind of game is this?
It's actually a medical game, but it's also a strategy, real-time strategy mixed battle game. So this is also a genre mixed, a new kind of genre game.
I'm curious. You have these 3 games. They're very different in genre. As a studio, do you enjoy challenging yourself like
yes,
that?
we're a studio. The motto is to challenge for new things, and we don't release until it gets really fun in the game. So we're challenging. All the title has to be challenging, and that we don't accept the same kind of game repeatedly released. So this is really a challenge for us.
Well, we'll definitely be covering Asobism's games coming up to launch, and so stick around because these games are right up our alley, and they're probably up yours.
Thank you.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Battle Athlete here with Noisy Pixel, and today I'm here with David to announce his new game,
Mistfall Hunter.
Mistfall Hunter. So basically, there's a lot of hype surrounding this game. Going forward, I think a lot of people are wondering, it's like, what are your goals? Like, are you thinking that this could be like the new Diablo? Is like...
Well, that would be wonderful, but our goals is just to start simple. We're gonna, release this one and see what happens and take it from there, but we're focused on trying to get this thing to release.
There's obviously some clear inspirations. What were some of the main ones? A lot of people can make some assumptions, but what would you think your biggest influences are that brought about?
So I think that in general, the combat feels a little Souls-like, right? There's kind of this more tactile combat where you're doing a lot of dodging and swiping and hiding and doing all sorts of moves and things like that. So it's in a much more kind of one-on-one combat than, let's say, Diablo or something which has lots of enemies on the screen at once. This is a much more focused kind of combat. So the Souls-like games definitely are an inspiration for this. Then combine that with an extraction game, and that's really what you have. You have here, it's kind of a PvPvE extraction Souls-like game.
I'm kind of curious, what do you think some of the biggest challenges going forward for this game are, and what is it that you feel that you're doing different, maybe even mechanically?
Yeah, I think that mechanically there's a few things that are different. It's kind of a short session extraction. The extraction games, there are quite a few, but I feel like this one really sets itself apart, not only from the lore, but also from a fantasy setting. I think that both of those things are kind of different takes on the genre for sure. And I think that it's proven already that people are really enjoying what they're playing. We've had a couple kind of closed betas. We have another one coming up here in about a month or so, and it'll have a whole bunch of new classes and stuff. So kind of that class-based kind of experience as well as an extraction game kind of brings a unique perspective to the genre.
Yeah, I think that's really important for like a unique gameplay style when someone has the ability to make their own class or make a class their own. It's like individualism through the class that they decide to build.
Yeah, a lot of customization in your class and things like that really helps.
What is it that you look for now as a new publisher? Like, what is that you're looking for?
Yeah, we Skystone. I'm the president of Skystone. I founded it with another person about 5 years ago. We've been doing publishing everything from indie games to now Mistfall Hunter and in between. So there's a lot of different types of games that we look for, but we focus on really gameplay first. I'm a very gameplay-oriented person. I always have been. I like deep systems, lots of customization. I like roguelike elements and things like that. A lot of deep strategy. Those are the kind of things that we look for and kind of stand out for Skystone Games.
What sort of expertise are you looking for with the new publisher, like to bring to the table?
Well, I think that we look at each individual project on its own merit, and so we're looking for talented developers with unique ideas that kind of make the product stand out in a crowd. There's so many games now. It's really important to have some sort of hook, some sort of difference that you bring to the table with your product to ensure that it can reach above the noise. When there's 20,000 games a year, you got to have something that stands out. And so that's definitely something that we're looking for. And I think that the passion of making whatever it is that you're making also is really, really needs to be evident. And we get that a lot from some submissions, but I think that combining those two things, I think really is something that we notice and look for.
I couldn't agree more, and I do think you're accomplishing that. You're making something unique, but something that people can look at and kind of recognize it. So I think you're making something pretty special here.
Thank you.
Yeah. Going forward, release date and what consoles or PC?
We're focused right now on PC, but we don't have a release date announced yet. But the next phase of the beta is going to be in about a month or so. And so we'll take it from there and see where we are.
Oh, that sounds exciting. I can't wait for it. Thank you so much. Hey, what's up, gamers? It's Battle Athlete here with Noisy Pixel, and today I'm here with...
I'm Ray, a publishing producer with Skystone Games.
Okay, so you've got a AAA game coming out, but you're also putting out 3 indie games?
Yeah. So, we do a little bit of everything at Skystone. We have mobile, AAA, we have indie. Really excited about these 3 indie games that are right next to us here. We just released this one called Tiny Bookshop. You might have heard of it. August 7th it came out, and we're doing amazing on Steam. Overwhelmingly positive reviews, and we're one of the best sellers on Nintendo Switch.
So based off the name, I'm going to assume managing a bookstore.
Yeah. It's a cozy bookstore simulation game. So you're selling books out of the back of a little camper van that you drag around in your truck. You move to a beachside town, you meet all these super cool, fun characters. It's a great time.
My girlfriend loves books and managing simulators. That's probably going to be her favorite one, to be honest. Yeah, I think a lot of people.
For sure.
Definitely. And now the other one is Blackjack, and I think you described it as Velatros to poker as Blackjack is to 21.
Exactly, yeah. So Black Jacket is our newest announcement. We announced this 2 or 3 days ago. A Blackjack roguelike. So it's a really unique take on the genre. It's a lot more true to Blackjack than maybe Balatro would be to poker, but it's a really fun experience, and it's got kind of a darker vibe than the other games we're showing here today. The whole premise is that you're trapped in hell and you're gambling for your soul, and it's a really great vibe, and it's a really great game. Yeah.
Gambling for your soul. Great vibes. So, and then your third one is Arcane Eats?
Yeah, so Arcane Eats is going to be the next indie game that we're going to be releasing. It's going to be sometime early next year. And this is another deck builder, and it's a cozier take on a deck builder, where instead of fighting, you're feeding. So you're running this high fantasy restaurant, and you're serving goblins and witches that come into the restaurant. It's a really, really great time, man.
So basically fantasy setting Cooking Mama?
Yeah, kind of, but you play it with cards, It's a really, really fun deck builder.
Out of the 3, which one's your personal favorite?
Oh, my personal favorite has to be Arcane Eats. I'm a big deck builder guy, and the mechanics in this game are really deep. The replay value is so high, and it's just a really great time.
Okay, so I know that the Tiny Bookshop is already out. What about the other 2 games?
So Arcane Eats is going to be coming out early next year. We're going to have a Steam demo up pretty soon, so go check out our Steam page, wishlist it so you can get the notification. Black Jacket is going to be a little later this year. We just announced this one, so this is fresh.
Yeah, I can't wait for that one personally. What consoles or platforms do you think you're going to be releasing for?
So Tiny Bookshop is currently out on PC and Steam and Nintendo Switch, and we're looking into the other platforms right now. All of these games are going to be Steam first, and then we're going to look into other consoles as these things come up. Yeah.
Awesome. That sounds great. Hey, thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, it was super nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
One. Oh, damn it. Let's I knew that the Content Creator Club was fucking around on the 4th fucking floor. And I'm not even fucking lying, the place is closing now. But they say that the Content Creator Club is open for 1 more hour, and I'll be damned I'll be damned. This is the second floor. They said that we need to go up 2 more of these to get to where we're going. Content creators are literally the least athletic people I've seen. Wait, maybe that's not true. You know, I think the better gamers are definitely no. I guess content creators are in the middle of the athletic. I love a Venn diagram. Let's talk about that. We have content creators and we have gamers, and we have this weight right here in the middle. Right here. That's the people that are here right now. The variety pack, the sampler, the soup, the mother's soup on a warm Sunday afternoon after Dad just did the lawn and is drinking his first Bud Light. Lord help us if he gets to his third. This is what happens when I don't get my NAR. This is live too, or not live, but this is like filming. This is raw. This is how far it's gonna take. This is how far I go for a free Red Bull. And you know what? At the end of this journey, I will say it, I want to went a little further.
You're doing this for a Red Bull?
I've done less for a Red Bull.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Battle Athlete here with Noisy Pixel, and today I'm here with Zach to talk about Call of Elyndra. Did I say that right?
Right. Yeah, so I'm Zachary Groen with Quorum Studios, and I'm the creative director for Call of Elyndra.
I noticed the visual style is really interesting. I'm personally a big fan of sprites in 3D environments, and what was the inspiration for going that route?
So we actually started out as a 2D game. And so we started developing an RPG maker, quickly became more ambitious, so we went to Godot. And I've always wanted to do a 2.5D game, and so by switching the game engines, that allowed us to be able to go that route. I love the retro pixel art, and being able to combine that with more of a 3D environment allows us to have much more depth to the mechanics in the game. So that's kind of why I chose that direction.
Yeah, speaking of the mechanics, that's also something I wanted to ask about, because obviously visually it's stunning, but like, what's the gameplay? We got simulation elements, combat elements.
Right, I would describe it as a hybrid of Stardew Valley and The Legend of Zelda.
That was the vibe I got as well. So is there any combat whatsoever?
Yeah, so on the action-adventure side, essentially, you're going to be going through dungeons, you're going to be collecting key items. So if anyone's familiar with the older Legend of Zelda series, not the open world, but you have a lock and key type system, so you got to find the special item to be able to progress through the dungeons. That'll also allow you to unlock, for example, a wall that you passed earlier that you can see is bombable, or you can see that there's a cliff face that you need to climb up, and you might use an item to grow a vine to be able to climb up there. So there's these things that you notice along the way that you might not have yet. Put something in your mind, I need to maybe access that at some later point.
So basically, there's also a lot of forms of exploration as well then. What would you say is your biggest influence?
Yeah, The Legend of Zelda, so more of the older style Legend of Zelda games.
Link to the Past?
Link to the Past, right, exactly. So that was one of the key influences for the design of the game.
And one last question, how's your PAX been? How's the feedback?
Great. I mean, we are showcasing a fishing demo right now, which is just one small component of what we have to offer. The combat and other aspects of the game will be coming later in a demo that we're going to release, a more comprehensive demo. So over the next several months, you'll get a better taste for all aspects of the game.
Oh, that's great. So basically, what kind of expectations are you looking at for release dates and consoles, or like what's that looking like for you?
So over the next several months, we'll be looking for the demo. So if anybody that wants to follow us, wishlist us on Steam, follow our socials. Yeah, be on the lookout for a more comprehensive demo release coming out soon. PC for now, and then we will be hopefully moving to Switch. So that's kind of the goal. I mean, I think it fits the Switch platform really well, and that's what we'd like to do.
Well, I love the visual style. I mean, it's really stunning, so I'm looking forward to it. Thanks so much for your time. Thank you.
There's another one. You see the Content Creator Club? All right, well, that trek was very long, and I'm not even exaggerating. And honestly, at the end of this, all you're gonna get is a really funny bit. And I hope you enjoy it, because these are the links that we go through for a bit. I'm just prefacing. Holy shit. We'll turn it.
God damn it!
And here we are, Battle Athlete and I, at the end of day 2, PAX West 2025, only to do this outro. Oh my God, turn around right now, Mark. Just turn around. And I was saying, only to live with these fucking mimes. They're all around. They don't stop. They don't stop. They don't stop. They don't fucking stop.
They can't stop.
And I have one more day of this. We have one more day of this. Thank you so much for watching, Battle Athlete. Tell them where to go.
Noisy Pixel is the place to be, where you want to be seen, and eat some beans.
I love beans.
The magical fruit.
Thank you. It was a joke about how much the Tuba 2 costs reselled. So good. That was what I forgot. See, I knew it was gonna come back to me. It's like $150. That's why we want Tuba 2. We want Tuba 2 because I don't want to pay that resale value. $30 for Tuba 2, $40, maybe 50. I might pay $50 for Tuba 2.
How much?
50.
50?
Base.
Base.
Yeah, it's like physical. Physical 50.
No cap?
Okay, 40, but $10 bathing suit DLC in it, you know, like just to sweeten the...
On God, for real.
That's the only reason why I play Shantae, by the way.
Noisy Pixel.